The group text came through while I was in the middle of showing a property to potential buyers. My phone kept buzzing, each notification making my stomach sink deeper. I excused myself, stepped into the hallway, and there it was. Laura's message to the entire family. Since Monica clearly values money over family, I guess we should all know what kind of person she really is. 3 years of supporting River and me through hard times, and now she wants to act like we're taking advantage? Maybe if she wasn't so busy buying up half the city, she'd remember what family means. My name is Monica, and I'm the horrible sister who finally said no to funding my brother's luxury cruise. I'm so sorry, I told my clients, maintaining my professional smile. Family emergency. Shall we continue the tour? The irony wasn't lost on me. Here I was, showing one of my investment properties while my younger brother and his wife lived rent-free in another. 3 years of temporary help had somehow morphed into permanent entitlement. My phone buzzed again. This time it was River. Real nice, sis. Laura's crying. Hope you're happy. I switched my phone to silent and finished the showing. By the time I got to my car, there were 16 messages in the family group chat. Most of them were from Laura, painting me as some sort of heartless real estate tycoon who'd rather see them homeless than spare a few $1,000s for their anniversary cruise. The cruise. That's what finally broke me. Laura had cornered me at Sunday dinner last week, wedding photos pulled up on her phone. Look how young we were, she'd said, sliding closer on Mom's floral couch. Can you believe it's been 5 years? We were thinking of doing something special. I knew where this was going. I'd heard this tone before, when they needed help with car payments, when their AC broke, when River lost his job at the startup. 7-day Caribbean cruise, she'd continued, showing me the booking page. River's too proud to ask, but I thought maybe his successful big sister. No, I'd said, surprising even myself with how firm it came out. Laura's face had shifted instantly. Excuse me? I said, no, Laura, I can't keep doing this. Can't. Or won't. She'd stood up, voice rising. You own 6 properties, Monica. 6, and you can't help your own brother celebrate his anniversary? That's when River had walked in. What's going on? Your sister, Laura had spat, thinks we're not worth helping anymore. Now, sitting in my car, I watched the family chat explode. Mom sent crying emojis. Dad asked everyone to calm down. Cousin Paige, who'd never liked me much anyway, suggested I was showing my true colors. My phone rang. It was River. Hey, sis, he said, using that tone he'd perfected since we were kids, the one that made me feel like I was somehow always wrong. Look, I know Laura can be intense, but she's just hurt. We thought you'd be happy to help us celebrate. River, I said, keeping my voice steady. You haven't paid rent in 3 years. You haven't even tried to find a better job. I've covered your car insurance, your medical bills. Because that's what family does, he cut in. You think I like asking my big sister for help? You think it doesn't kill my pride every time? But you're the one with all the success, Monica. The least you could do is share it. I closed my eyes, remembering the property I'd just shown, how hard I'd worked for it, the risks I'd taken, the sleepless nights wondering if I'd made the right investments. The least I could do, I repeated slowly, was give you a place to live when you needed it. And I did. But I'm done being your ATM. Wow, River laughed, but there was no humor in it. Just wow. You know what? Laura's right about you. You've changed. Yes, I said, surprising myself again. I have. I hung up as another group text came through. This one was from Laura, CCing every relative we had. Since Monica's so concerned about money, maybe everyone should know how she really made her fortune. Anyone want to hear about the deals she made during COVID? Or should I start with the tenants she kicked out? My hands shook as I read it. Every word was a lie, but Laura knew exactly what she was doing. She was making sure that saying no would cost me dearly. I took a deep breath and dialed a number. Eduardo? It's Monica. Remember when you said I should consider legal action? I'm ready to talk about that eviction notice now. I tried calling Mom 3 times before she finally picked up. Her voice was thick with tears. "How could you do this to your brother?" she asked before I could even say hello. "Mom, please listen. He's family, Monica, your only brother. What happens when he and Laura end up homeless?" I pinched the bridge of my nose. "They won't be homeless. They both have jobs. They can afford an apartment like everyone else." "But they won't have you," she sniffled. "They won't have family." After hanging up, I drove to the house they'd been living in. My house. The one I'd bought as an investment property before River lost his tech job, and Laura convinced me they just needed a few months to get back on their feet. I pulled into the driveway and froze. There was a brand new Tesla parked in my garage. "What the hell?" I muttered, getting out of my car. The garage door was open, and inside, where I used to store maintenance supplies, sat thousands of dollars worth of camping gear, high-end stuff, still with tags. A neighbor was watering her plants next door. "Oh, Monica," she called out. "I've been meaning to thank you for letting those nice Airbnb people use your garage last month. They were so quiet." My stomach dropped. "Airbnb people?" "Yes, the ones your brother and his wife host. Such a clever idea, renting out the garage space for travelers." I smiled tightly and went to knock on the front door. No answer, but through the window, I could see a massive new flat-screen TV mounted on the wall. Below it sat a gleaming PlayStation 5 and what looked like a premium sound system. My phone buzzed. "Eduardo." "I've started gathering the documentation," he said when I answered. "But Monica, we need to talk about something. Those social media posts Laura's making? They're not just venting, they're calculated defamation." "I'm standing outside the house right now," I said. "Did you know they've been running an illegal Airbnb out of my garage?" "What?" Eduardo's lawyer voice shifted to his friend voice. "Are you serious? Brand new Tesla in the driveway, too. Funny how they can afford that but not rent." "Take pictures," he said immediately, "of everything. And Monica, check your email. I found something you need to see." I opened my inbox while walking back to my car. Eduardo had forwarded me an email chain. One Laura had accidentally included him on months ago when she was mass forwarding something about a neighborhood yard sale. But buried in that chain was a conversation between her and River from 2 years ago. "It's working perfectly," Laura had written. "Every time Monica tries to bring up rent, I just mention how hard things are and how much the family needs to stick together. She caves instantly. Keep playing the struggling brother card. We can probably stay here for free indefinitely. She's too worried about looking like the bad guy to ever kick us out." My hands were shaking again, but not from anxiety this time. From rage. I called Eduardo back. "I want them out." "I know," he said gently. "But we need to do this right. They're going to play dirty, Monica. They already are. We need to document everything. The garage is illegal subletting, yes, but don't confront them about it yet. Let them dig themselves deeper. Keep all their texts, emails, social media posts. And Monica, stop responding to the family messages. Every word you say right now will be twisted." My phone dinged with another group text, this time from Dad. "Family dinner tonight. Mandatory. We need to talk this through." "They're calling a family dinner," I told Eduardo. "Tonight." "Good," he said. "Go. Be calm. Let them talk. Record everything on your phone if you can. The more they say, the more ammunition they give us." After we hung up, I sat in my car staring at the house, my house, that had somehow become a symbol of everything wrong with my relationship with River. All these years, I thought I was helping him. Really, I was just enabling him and Laura to take advantage of me. Another text came through, this one privately from Laura. "Hope you're ready to apologize tonight. Your mom's heartbroken, you know. But I'm sure your precious properties are worth destroying your family over." I started my car, Laura's old email chain burning in my mind. They thought they had me cornered with guilt and family obligation. They thought I'd keep playing the good sister, the reliable ATM, the pushover. They had no idea what was coming. I pulled out my phone one last time. "Eduardo, Before the dinner, can you draw up those eviction papers? I want to have them ready. Mom's pot roast filled the house with a familiar aroma as I walked in. Classic manipulation. She only made it on special occasions or when she wanted to soften someone up. Monica! Laura rushed to hug me, all smiles and warmth. I returned the embrace stiffly, remembering Eduardo's advice. Let them think they're in control. We're so glad you came, she gushed. We really need to work this out as a family. River lounged on the couch, barely looking up from his phone. Hey, sis. Mom bustled around, setting the table with her best china, another obvious ploy. Dad sat quietly in his recliner, watching everything but saying nothing as usual. Before we eat, Laura announced, I think we should clear the air. Monica, we know you're under a lot of stress with your properties. River told us you might be having some financial troubles. I caught River's quick smirk. So that was their play. Paint me as the one in crisis. Really? I kept my voice neutral. What kind of troubles, River? He shrugged. Just saying maybe there's a reason you're suddenly so worried about rent. If you're struggling, you could just tell us. Interesting. I pulled out my phone, opened my voice recorder app, and set it on the table. Mind telling me again how long you've been living in my house? Just so everyone's clear on the timeline. Laura's smile flickered. Why are you recording this? Documentation, I said sweetly. Since we're clearing the air. River. 3 years, he muttered. But you said we could stay as long as we needed. And in those 3 years, how much rent have you paid? Mom interrupted. Monica, please, this isn't necessary. It is, Mom. River? None, he snapped. Because you said you wanted to help, because that's what family does. And the garage? I asked. How much have you made renting that out on Airbnb? The room went silent. Laura's face drained of color. I don't know what you're talking about, she said quickly. The neighbors do. They were very chatty about your little side business, in my property, without my knowledge or permission. Dad sat forward in his chair, frowning. You've been renting out the garage? It's not like that, River started, but Laura cut him off. We needed the money for our anniversary cruise, since Monica was being so selfish. The cruise you already booked? I asked. The one you were so sure I'd pay for? Laura's face shifted from panic to triumph. Actually, we knew you'd come around. That's why we went ahead and booked it. You always do the right thing in the end, Monica. Always have, River added. Ever since we were kids. I let their confidence hang in the air for a moment, thinking about the eviction papers in my car, about the email chain proving their manipulation, about the Tesla in my garage. You're right, I said finally. I do always do the right thing. Laura beamed. See? I knew you'd understand. Which is why, I continued, I've decided to sell the house. The silence that followed was deafening. You... what? River sat up straight. Selling it. Already have interested buyers. You can't. Laura's voice rose. We live there. Without a lease, without paying rent, while illegally subletting my property. Monica, Mom pleaded, think about what you're doing to your family. I have thought about it, Mom. For 3 years I've thought about it. And you know what? Family doesn't exploit family. Family doesn't manipulate and lie and steal. We never stole anything, River shouted. The Airbnb money says otherwise. I stood up, grabbing my phone. I'm sorry, Mom, but I'll skip dinner. I've lost my appetite. If you do this, Laura called after me, everyone will know what kind of person you really are. I turned at the door. They already do, Laura. That's why you're panicking. As I walked to my car, I heard running footsteps behind me. It was Dad. Monica, he said quietly. Is it true? About the garage, the Tesla? I nodded. He looked back at the house, then at me. Do what you need to do, just do it legally. Already on it, I said, pulling the eviction papers from my car. Eduardo's serving these tomorrow. Dad nodded slowly. Good girl. I drove home smiling, replaying the recording of River admitting to 3 years of non-payment. Eduardo would be pleased. My phone buzzed with a text from Laura. Hope you're ready for war. I thought about the documents Eduardo had prepared, about the evidence we'd gathered, about 3 years of calculated manipulation finally exposed. Oh, Laura, I muttered. I've been ready for months. Eduardo served the eviction papers at 9 a.m. sharp. I watched through my office security cameras as he walked up to my property, their borrowed home, looking every bit the professional lawyer in his crisp suit. My phone rang almost immediately after he left. Are you fucking kidding me? River's voice cracked. A formal eviction? Through a lawyer? You have 30 days, I said calmly. It's all standard procedure. Standard procedure? I'm your brother. Who's been illegally subletting my property? We needed the money, he was shouting now. You have 6 properties, Monica. 6! You're really going to make us homeless over a few $1,000s? You make $60,000 a year, River. Laura makes 55. You can afford an apartment. Is that what this is about? You want to punish us for the Airbnb thing? Laura's voice cut in. They had me on speaker. We'll tell everyone, Monica. Every dirty deal you've ever made. Every tenant you've screwed over. You mean the lies you've been spreading? I interrupted. Go ahead. I have documentation for every legal transaction I've ever made. Do you have documentation for your illegal subletting business? Silence. 30 days, I repeated. And Laura? The garage needs to be cleared of all Airbnb supplies by tomorrow, or I'm reporting the unauthorized business to the city. You bitch, Laura started, but I hung up. My phone immediately lit up with message notifications. Laura had already started her campaign. Urgent family message. Monica is officially evicting River and Laura after everything they've been through. Please call her and talk sense into her. I muted the group chat and opened my email. Eduardo had sent an update. Papers served. Documented their reaction on video as requested. Also, you should know they've been advertising the garage on multiple rental sites. I've archived everything. A private message popped up from my younger cousin Livia. Hey, I know everyone's taking River's side, but I'm with you. I've seen how they talk about you when you're not around. What do you mean? I typed back. Check your DMs, I'm sending screenshots. The screenshots loaded. A private family group chat I wasn't part of. Laura had created it months ago, titled Monica's True Colors. The messages made my blood boil. Laura. She's probably laundering money through those properties. River. Trust me, she's one audit away from losing everything. Laura. That's why we need to stay in the house. When she goes down, at least we'll have squatters' rights. More messages poured in, each one worse than the last. They'd been poisoning the family against me for months, maybe years. My phone rang again. Mom. They have nowhere to go, she cried without preamble. They have money, Mom. They have jobs. They bought a Tesla. A what? A Tesla. Brand new. Parked in my garage right now, along with thousands in camping equipment they bought with Airbnb money from illegally renting my property. Mom went quiet. What Airbnb money? Ask River about his side business. Ask him where he got the money for the cruise they booked. Ask him about the new TV, the PlayStation, all the things they've bought while living rent-free. But he said they were struggling. They lied, Mom, about everything. And I have proof. After we hung up, another message came from Livia. There's more. Laura's been telling everyone you're being investigated for fraud. But I work at the bank, Monica. I know that's not true. Send me everything, I wrote back. Every screenshot, every lie. Already done. And Monica, Laura's deleting messages like crazy now. She knows she messed up. My security camera pinged. River was at the house, ripping down the eviction notice. I called Eduardo. They're destroying legal documents, I said, and I have proof of deliberate defamation. Perfect, he replied. The more they fight, the stronger our case gets. By the way, I'm filing reports about the unauthorized rental business tomorrow. They're not just going to owe you back rent, they're going to owe the city fines. My phone buzzed with a text from River. You just love watching people squirm, don't you? Getting off on your power trip? I started to respond, but another message from Livia stopped me. OMG, you need to see this. Laura accidentally posted bank statements in the group trying to prove you're broke, but they show all the Airbnb deposits instead. I smiled, watching through the camera as River stormed around the front yard, ranting into his phone. No, River, I muttered. I don't love watching people squirm. I just love watching justice unfold. The screenshots from Livia kept coming. Each one was like a piece of ammunition, and I used them strategically. No arguments, no explanations. I simply started forwarding evidence to family members who had doubted me. To Uncle Rick, who'd called me heartless. The message where Laura bragged about manipulating me like an ATM. To Aunt Sarah, who'd accused me of abandoning family. Screenshots of River joking about squatters' rights and waiting for my inevitable bankruptcy. To Cousin Paige, who'd been Laura's biggest defender, the accidental bank statement showing thousands in undeclared Airbnb income. My phone rang. Mom. I don't know what to say, she whispered. Livia showed me everything. You don't have to say anything. But I do. Her voice cracked. I believed them. I let them make you the villain. My own daughter. Mom. No, let me finish. River. He told us you were having financial problems, that you were taking your stress out on them. Laura said you were being investigated for fraud. We believed them because they were so convincing. I heard Dad in the background. Tell her about the Tesla. Your father went to the house, Mom continued. He saw everything. The new TV, the car, all of it. How long have they been lying to us? Check the date on Laura's private group chat, I said quietly. The one called Monica's True Colors. A pause, then, 2 years? They've been plotting this for 2 years? My other line beeped. Eduardo. Mom, I have to take this. We'll talk later. Eduardo didn't waste time. The city inspector just left their property. Your brother and Laura are in serious trouble. Operating an unlicensed rental business, improper waste disposal from the Airbnb guests, unauthorized modifications to the garage. How bad? Thousands in fines, and here's the best part. They listed your address as their business address on multiple platforms. All violations go to the property owner. Meaning me. Meaning you can sue them for damages on top of the eviction. My security camera pinged again. Laura was at the house, frantically removing camping gear from the garage. They're cleaning out the evidence, I said. Too late. I have screenshots of every listing, every review, every transaction. They can't hide this anymore. Another call beeped in. Paige. Eduardo, I need to take this. Paige didn't even say hello. I am so sorry. I just saw the messages Laura posted about your shady dealings. I was stupid enough to believe her, and I might have repeated some of those things to people at work. You what? I work in real estate too, Monica. I thought people should know the truth about you. God, I was such an idiot. Tell me how to fix this. I thought about all the times Paige had sided with Laura, all the potential clients I might have lost because of her gossip. Write it down, I said finally. Everything you repeated, everything Laura told you. Send it to Eduardo with a formal statement admitting it was all based on lies. He'll know what to do with it. Already writing it, she said. And Monica? Laura's losing it. She's trying to delete everything, but people have screenshots. Everyone's seeing who she really is. After hanging up, I watched through the camera as Laura frantically packed the Tesla with their illegal rental supplies. River stood in the driveway, screaming into his phone. My phone buzzed with his message. Happy now? You've turned the whole family against us. I forwarded him the screenshot of his own words. When Monica goes down, at least we'll have squatters' rights. That was a joke, he texted back immediately. The Tesla wasn't a joke. The Airbnb wasn't a joke. The cruise you booked wasn't a joke. We're family. No, River. We were your ATM. There's a difference. Laura started posting again in the family group. Monica's trying to destroy us. She's twisting everything. But this time, something different happened. The family fought back. Livia. We can all see the screenshots, Laura. Paige. Stop lying. It's over. Uncle Rick. You took advantage of her for years. Dad. Get out of my daughter's house. My phone rang one last time. Eduardo. Monica? The city inspector found something else. They've been dumping Airbnb garbage in your neighbors' bins. 3 neighbors filed complaints. We can add that to the lawsuit. I watched through the camera as Laura slumped against the Tesla, crying theatrical tears while River paced and raged. No, I said. No lawsuit. Just the eviction. Let the city handle their fines. You sure? I thought about Mom's broken voice, about Dad's quiet support, about Livia's loyalty and Paige's remorse. I'm sure. They've lost something worth more than money. What's that? Their audience? I said, watching the family group chat fill with messages of support. For me. No one's buying their show anymore. The city inspector's bright orange notice looked almost cheerful against my garage door. Unauthorized business operation. Cease and desist. I stood in the driveway taking pictures for Eduardo's files when a neighbor walked over. Finally, she said, nodding at the notice. Those Airbnb people kept using our trash bins, left them overflowing every weekend. I'm so sorry about that, I started, but she waved me off. Not your fault. Your brother and his wife, they told everyone you knew all about it, said you were partnering with them on some innovative home-sharing project. She rolled her eyes. Load of nonsense. My phone buzzed. Laura had tagged me in a Facebook post. Since my heartless sister-in-law is determined to destroy our lives, maybe everyone should know about the illegal eviction she's attempting. Lawyers will be contacted. Eduardo called almost immediately. She's digging herself deeper, he said. Every public accusation she makes is documented defamation, and there's nothing illegal about the eviction. We've followed every protocol. Did you see the latest? About the lawyers? Yes, let her try. The city inspector's report alone would sink any case they bring. A car screeched into the driveway, River's Tesla. Laura jumped out, phone in hand, already recording. Look, everyone, she shouted at her phone. Here's Monica, harassing us again, coming to our home to intimidate us. Your home? I kept my voice calm. Show them the property deed, Laura. Show them who owns this house. You're just jealous. She was getting louder, playing to her imaginary audience. Jealous that we're successful, that we're happy. Successful? I pulled out my own phone. Let's talk about success. Let's talk about the city fines you're facing, the unauthorized business, the illegal waste disposal. River stepped between us. Stop recording, Laura. No, everyone needs to see. I said stop. He grabbed her phone, ending the live stream. This isn't helping. My phone buzzed again. Paige had posted in the family group. For anyone still believing Laura's lies, I just spoke with the city inspector. They found evidence of an illegal rental business dating back months. River and Laura have been profiting off Monica's property while living there rent-free. Disgusting. Laura's face crumpled as she read the message. You turned Paige against us too? You did that yourself, I said. Every lie, every manipulation, it's all coming out now. We'll sue you, River threatened. For everything. With what evidence? Eduardo's voice made them jump. He'd pulled up quietly during our confrontation. The illegal subletting? The documented defamation? The city violations? Please, sue us. Make this easier. Laura started crying. Real tears this time, not the theatrical ones she'd perfected for family gatherings. You're ruining everything, she sobbed. No, I said. I'm just not letting you ruin me anymore. My phone kept buzzing. The family group chat was exploding. Mom. Just saw Laura's Facebook post. Shameful. Dad. Enough is enough. Stop attacking your sister. Livia, I have more screenshots if anyone needs proof of their lies. Uncle Rick, can't believe we fell for their act for so long. 25 days, Eduardo said calmly, checking his watch. That's how long you have to vacate the property. I suggest you spend less time on social media and more time packing. River's face had gone red. This isn't over. Actually, Eduardo smiled, it is. The city inspector is returning tomorrow for a follow-up. I'd clear out that garage tonight if I were you. We watched them retreat into the house, Laura's sobs still audible. The neighbor who'd talked to me earlier gave a low whistle. Quite a show, she said. Want to know something funny? That Tesla they're so proud of? They've been parking it in different spots around the neighborhood trying to hide it from you when you visit. I laughed despite everything. Really? Oh yes, very sneaky about it too, always bragging about their investment strategy while doing it. Eduardo touched my arm. We should go. Let them process this. As we walked to our cars, another message lit up my phone. This one was from Dad. Your mother and I just watched Laura's latest video, the one where she's screaming about harassment. It's gone viral in the family chat, but not how she intended. Everyone sees the truth now. We're so sorry we didn't see it sooner. I looked back at the house, my house, with its bright orange notice and Tesla in the driveway. Through the window, I could see Laura pacing, phone still in hand, probably plotting her next move. But it didn't matter anymore. Her audience was gone, her lies exposed, her power over the family narrative finally broken. Ready to go? Eduardo asked. I nodded, already imagining the for sale sign that would soon stand in this very spot. More than ready. The family intervention was set for 7 p.m. at my parents' house. I arrived 15 minutes early, Eduardo waiting in his car around the corner, just in case. Mom opened the door before I could knock. They're all here, she whispered. River, Laura, your aunts, uncles, everyone. I walked into a room full of familiar faces, some sympathetic, others still hostile. Laura sat in the center of the couch, eyes red and puffy, clutching a manila folder like a shield. River stood behind her, arms crossed. Before anyone starts, I said, setting my laptop on the coffee table, I'm recording this meeting. Of course you are, Laura sniffled. Always plotting. Speaking of plotting, I opened my laptop. Shall we discuss your private family chat? The one where you spent 2 years spreading lies about me? Those messages were taken out of context. Laura clutched her folder tighter. We have proof that Monica's been running legitimate businesses? I pulled up the first document. Here's my property deed, my business licenses, my tax records, every transaction, every tenant agreement, except yours, since you never signed one. We had a verbal agreement. River stepped forward. You said we could stay. Temporarily, I corrected. 3 years ago. Want to explain the Tesla, the Airbnb business, the cruise you booked with money from illegally renting my property? Aunt Sarah cleared her throat. Laura told us you approved the rental business. Did she? Interesting. I pulled up the city inspector's report. Because the city seems to think differently. Want to see the fines they're facing? Laura jumped up, waving her folder. Everyone needs to see this. Proof of Monica's shady dealings. You mean the fake documents you've been spreading? Livia stepped out from the corner. I work at the bank, Laura. I've seen the real records. Everything you're holding is fabricated. Laura's face went white. You don't know that. Actually, I said. We do. Eduardo traced the edited PDFs back to your computer. Want to discuss forgery charges? Enough. Dad's voice cut through the tension. Laura, River, show us your proof or stop making accusations. Laura's hand shook as she opened her folder. Papers spilled onto the floor. Printouts of edited bank statements, manufactured email chains, crude attempts at forged documents. These aren't, she started, but stopped as Mom picked up one of the papers. This is dated last week, Mom said quietly. But it's supposed to be from 3 years ago. The bank's logo changed 2 years ago. This is the new one. The room went silent. Would anyone like to see the real documents? I asked, turning my laptop around. The ones showing 3 years of unpaid rent, the illegal subletting income, the defamatory social media posts? We trusted you, Aunt Sarah said to Laura. We believed everything you said about Monica. Because she deserved it, Laura burst out. Little Miss Perfect with her properties and her success, looking down on us, making us feel small. By giving you a free place to live? Livia interrupted. By paying your medical bills? That's how she made you feel small? River put his hands on Laura's shoulders. We can explain everything. Please do, I said, hitting play on my phone. Laura's voice filled the room. We can probably stay here for free indefinitely. She's too worried about looking like the bad guy to ever kick us out. Laura lunged for my phone. That's private. Like the private family chat you created to destroy my reputation? You know what? River's face was red again. We're done here. Laura, get your things. We're leaving. Oh, one more thing, I said as they headed for the door. I'm not just evicting you anymore. I'm selling the house. Laura spun around. What? Already have buyers lined up, which means you don't have 30 days anymore. According to state law, since there's no lease agreement, you have less than 20 days to vacate. You can't do this, Laura screamed. We'll sue. Please do, Eduardo said, walking in from where he'd been listening. I'd love to present all this evidence in court. Laura collapsed into tears, real ones this time. River tried to help her up, but she pushed him away. I hate you, she sobbed at me. I hate you for ruining everything. No, Laura, Mom said, standing up. You did this. You and River. Now get out of my house. We watched them leave, Laura still crying. River silent for once. The rest of the family sat in stunned silence. I have copies of everything, I said quietly. Every lie, every scheme, every manipulation. If anyone wants to see the truth, it's all here. One by one they came to look. One by one they understood. And one by one they apologized. Dad was the last to speak. Sell that house, Monica. Sell it and don't look back. I nodded, closing my laptop as Eduardo gathered the scattered papers, evidence of 3 years of deception finally exposed to the light. Already working on it. The sold sign went up on a Tuesday. I watched from my car as the young couple who bought the house took their first pictures in front of it, their excitement palpable even from a distance. My phone buzzed, a text from the realtor. River and Laura finally cleared out yesterday, left some damage but nothing we can't fix before closing. Another message popped up, this one from Livia. Did you see Laura's latest Facebook post? She's playing victim again, but no one's buying it anymore. I didn't need to check. The family group chat, the real one, not Laura's secret hate forum, had been surprisingly peaceful lately. Even Aunt Sarah, who'd initially been Laura's strongest defender, had blocked her on social media. Ms. Monica? The young woman from the couple waved me over. We just wanted to thank you again. This is our first home and we're so excited. I got out of my car, smiling. Take good care of it. We will. Though, she hesitated, your brother's wife left some interesting reviews about the property online. Let me guess. Claims of fraud, illegal eviction, secret business schemes? The woman's husband laughed. Something like that. But our lawyer found the city reports about their unauthorized rental business. Pretty ironic. My phone rang. Eduardo. The investment paperwork is ready, he said when I answered. That women's startup fund you wanted to support? They're thrilled to have you as a backer. I looked at the young couple, still taking pictures of their new home. Use the full amount from the house sale. It's time that money did some real good. A car slowed down across the street. River's Tesla. I could see Laura in the passenger seat staring at the sold sign. For a moment, our eyes met. She raised her phone like a weapon, probably ready to record another rant about my cruelty. But then River drove away. Everything okay? The young woman asked. Perfect, I said. The house is all yours. Back in my car, I found a handwritten letter tucked under my windshield wiper. Dad's handwriting. Dear Monica, I watched you grow up always taking care of others, always being the responsible one, the generous one, the one we could count on. I watched you build your success brick by brick while your brother waited for handouts. I stayed quiet too long. I let them take advantage of your kindness because it was easier than confronting the truth. That River never learned to stand on his own because we never made him. You did what your mother and I couldn't. You stood up. You demanded respect. You showed us all what real strength looks like. I've never been more proud. Love, Dad. My phone buzzed again. A message from Mom. Coming over for dinner? Made your favorite pasta. On my way, I typed back. Another notification popped up. River had sent a private message. Laura's pregnant. We're going to need help with the baby expenses. I know things got heated, but you're still my sister. Family helps family. I stared at the message, remembering Laura's tears, the fake documents, the years of manipulation. Then I blocked his number. The young couple waved as I drove away from my old property. In my rearview mirror, I could see them planning their future, pointing at windows, probably discussing paint colors and furniture placement. My phone lit up with one final message. Livia. Guess what? I just stood up to my toxic roommate, told her she has to move out. You inspired me to stop being a doormat. I smiled, thinking about the Women's Startup Fund, about turning the money that had enabled River's dependency into something empowering instead. The family group chat dinged. Mom. Dinner at my house. Monica's coming. Everyone welcome. Except you know who. Aunt Sarah. Save me some pasta. Livia. Be there in 20. Paige. Monica, we need to celebrate the house sale. I typed back. On my way. And yes, let's celebrate. Because that's what this was, a celebration. Not of selling a house or exposing lies or even delivering justice, but of finally understanding that love without boundaries isn't love at all. That family means respect, not exploitation. That sometimes the kindest thing you can do is say no. I pulled into Mom's driveway, the smell of garlic bread wafting from the kitchen. Through the window, I could see Dad setting the table, Livia helping Mom with the salad, Aunt Sarah opening wine. My real family. The ones who learned, who grew, who understood. I walked inside to their warm greetings, leaving the weight of River's message, Laura's drama, and 3 years of manipulation behind me. Sometimes blood isn't thicker than water. Sometimes it's about who chooses to swim with you, not who tries to drag you down. And sometimes the happy ending isn't about revenge at all. It's about freedom.